1 minutes here ahead of 7 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Larry, there is a new restaurant people can now enjoy here in Montgomery County.
Polly's Mexican Street Food cut the ribbon on its new location on North Dixie Drive in Harrison Township. They have been around for 8 years at the 2nd Street Market. This is their first brick and mortar location in the Miami Valley. New at the restaurant will be breakfast tacos, guacamole toast, Belgian waffles, and more. The restaurant is open from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. Tuesday through Friday.
That is News Center 7's Nick Foley. In the Middle East, the Israeli military now says it plans to call up tens of thousands of reservists for an expanded operation in Gaza City.
Defense Minister Israel Katz approved the plan, which involves deploying 60,000 reservists and extending service for 20,000 more. The move comes amid international concerns about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where many inhabitants are displaced and facing famine.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor reporting. Happening south in the Sunshine State, the mile marker 39 fire has now combined with the Sawgrass fire in West Broward County, burning more than 19,000 acres in the state of Florida. Fox's Maricela Burgos has the latest for us from West Broward County.
A brush fire continues burning in the Everglades in West Broward County. Wednesday night, drivers on Alligator Alley spotted the bright orange flames in the distance. It's been so bad, the fire also impacted people in Miami-Dade. All day Wednesday, it was hard to avoid heavy smoke anywhere in South Florida. Officials with Florida Forest Service say they're trying to tackle it, but the conditions are making it tougher.
Yeah, the fire there 0% contained, but no structures have been destroyed at this point.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
So have you heard a Florida neighborhood dethrones California's Beverly Hills as America's priciest community?
How would you like to live in Gables Estates? The fancy locale in Coral Gables takes the top spot on Zillow's most expensive neighborhood in the United States, as 7 of the 10 most expensive neighborhoods are now located in the Sunshine State.
That is Fox's John Saucier reporting. WHIO News Time, 641.
I'm Larry Hanskin, and this is Miami Valley's Morning News. Our 5-day extended forecast helps you make plans for the weekend and beyond, as we hear from Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
77 degrees this afternoon. Once we get past the drizzle, we'll see a glimpse of sunshine. 82 tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy. Looking at a little more sunshine on Saturday with a high of 83. And Sunday, with a weak front moving through, we drop it to 79 degrees. And Monday, 73. In the morning on Monday, we'll be in the 40s and 50s.
Well, our live Doppler 7 radar is clear, and we've got 67 in Springfield, 67 in Huber Heights, 67 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Is your car's AC acting up? Keep cool this summer by visiting your trusted automotive air conditioning repair experts. Breathe a little easier by making an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnato.
Just recently heard reports of a crash in Moraine near I-75 on Dixie Drive at Dryden Road. Sounds like police are just getting to the scene. Also earlier had report of a crash in Oakwood on Schroyer Road near Clarana Avenue. That's near Speedway. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnato, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 16 points at 44,938. And we got breaking news from overnight on the Russia-Ukraine war. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 6:43.
This is WHIO. And yes, we're proud and honored to be part of the same company and operation as Channel 7. What does this mean to you? We've combined our resources from both radio and television to create a massive newsroom with lots of reporters digging deep into big news stories happening in the Miami Valley. Everyone knows Channel 7 News, and together we're giving you more news than you can get anywhere else. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
Live high school football, the Touchdown 7 Game of the Week, sponsored by Alta Fiber. Every Friday night, I'm Ron Otto.
And I'm Parker Testa. We'll be in your neighborhood covering the biggest games of the 2025 season, from Fairborn to Eaton and Huber Heights to Beaver Creek.
It all starts live with Todd's Tailgate Party at 5. Then we've got the kickoff for you at 7.
Every Friday night, the Touchdown 7 Game of the Week, sponsored by Alta Fiber on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
All right, you're not going to believe this. New polling shows that 96% of us, 96% are targeted by scams every single week. I wonder how the other 4% are not, because I see scams coming in by text, by email, junk phone calls every single day now. And so this is happening because it works. The criminals are able to con us. We think, hey, we're savvy. This isn't going to happen to us. But know that we are being targeted so hard that I want you to be really careful. And the simplest thing to do, never answer your phone if you don't recognize who is calling. Never click on any link in a text or an email.
Clark is WHIO's consumer warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO. What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our number one priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around. The area's only all-news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
645, I'm Larry Hanskin. We've got 67 degrees in Dayton. Big three things you need to know. Now some sunshine today, but still temperatures below normal with our highs reaching the mid to upper 70s. The Menendez brothers to appear before California Parole Board. And our top story, the congressional redistricting battle comes to a head today.
Yeah, Larry, after a push from President Trump, Texas House of Representatives approving that new map that creates up to 5 new winnable congressional seats for the GOP. Next up, it goes to the state Senate before it can go to the governor there. Meanwhile, Democratic leaders are touting California's mid-decade redistricting effort. Now, Fox's Kristen Goodwin continues our team coverage.
Proposition 50, or the Election Rigging Response Act, would allow voters to decide whether to redraw California's congressional maps.
What we're doing neutralizes what's happening in Texas. People have this chance with this ballot on November 4th to stand up to the rule of law, stand up for co-equal branches of government.
California Governor Gavin Newsom. If passed, Democrats would likely gain several California seats in the 2026 midterm elections, boosting their odds of winning back control in the House of Representatives. Newsom stressing this is to push back against President Trump's desire to reshape House maps to Republicans' advantage.
They understand that they cannot win plain, fair, and square.
Meanwhile, Republican lawmakers in California have sued to block the governor's redistricting plan.
Governor Newsom had stressed California's temporary maps would only take effect if other states adopt partisan maps mid-decade. Some more schools across the Miami Valley heading back to class this morning.
Some of these schools include Indian Lake Local Schools, all grades, Northeastern Local Schools, all grades, Huber Heights City Schools, kindergarten, last names A through K, and Troy Christian School.
And his News Center 7's Nick Foley. Now to Miami County, some Troy students are being told don't mind the dust. Troy High School now under a major renovation project.
So the high school looks a little rough. It looks like a construction zone. Fortunately, we know that relationships and good teaching and learning is the important part. So although the building may look a little rough, school is still going to happen, kids are still going to learn, and it's just something we'll have to get through.
That is Superintendent Chris Piper. The work expected to continue through the next school year. Parents who are considering surrendering a baby will have a safe option in Auglaize County. A new safe haven box, baby box there, will open at the Wapakoneta Fire Department on Willoughby Street.
The organization was founded to end infant abandonment. There are 372 of the boxes across the country, with 16 in Ohio. A blessing of the box will be held today at noon.
That is WHIO's Christine Bellino reporting. So have you seen her? The Fairfield Township Police Department searching for 16-year-old Yanis Amariah Ward, who has been missing since June.
She's 16 years old, weighs 120 pounds, is 5 feet 5 inches tall, has brown eyes and black hair. The department notes that she has run away from home in the past and was found in another state. You can see a photo and get more information at WHIO.com.
That is WHIO's Rich Jones. And breaking news from overnight, the Ukrainian Air Force says Russia has launched a major aerial attack on Ukraine, firing 574 drones and 40 missiles. WHIO's Will Taylor reports.
The attack has targeted western regions, killing at least one person and injuring 15 others. Ukraine's foreign minister says a major U.S. electronics manufacturer was hit. This marks Russia's third largest aerial attack this year by drone count. Ukrainian President Zelensky has condemned the attack, urging stronger international pressure on Moscow.
Yeah, meanwhile, President Zelensky plans to hold talks with Russian President Putin that potentially could involve President Trump to discuss security guarantees and peace efforts. WHIO News Time, 6:49.
I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News. Our 5-day forecast now with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
Waking up this morning with some drizzle, quite a bit of cloud cover hanging around through the day, so we struggle to warm to 80. Many of us staying in the mid to upper 70s, 77 at Dayton International, 62 tomorrow morning, 82 tomorrow afternoon. Looking at a little more sunshine. Partly cloudy skies on Saturday, a high of 83, and the weak cold front moving through. It'll be a dry front, no rain associated with it, just a few more clouds with a high of 79 degrees on Sunday and 73 on Monday.
Our live Doppler 7 radar clear, 67 in Springfield, 67 in Kettering, and 67 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnotta.
An area that's going to be a little slow for you right now if you're trying to get onto I-75 in the West Carrollton area. Recent crash reported on Dixie Drive near Dryden Road, a busy spot for us. Also in Oakwood, there was a reported minor crash on Schroyer Road near Clarana Avenue, close to Speedway. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Now, still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, Gen Z in the workplace. Some unusual things to share with you in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time is 6:51.
I know it's scary to hear someone tell you to get in your safe spot during a storm. But aren't you glad we're here to say it? Live Storm Center 7 coverage during any weather situation. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it. This is the legendary WHIO, the king of sports in Ohio. We've got the biggest sports teams and leagues on both radio and TV. This year, we're proud to be the home of NFL with Cincinnati Bengals football on Channel 7. The Southwest Ohio home of the Cleveland Browns on WHIO Radio. The biggest Big Ten games during the season every Saturday, including Ohio State football. The CBS NFL Game of the Week. The home of University of Dayton basketball and football. The Touchdown 7 high school football games of the week. The Dayton home of March Madness, the Masters, and PGA Championship. When it comes to the absolute biggest sports brands, WHIO Radio and Television is the king of Dayton sports. WHIO, Dayton's news, talk, and sports station.
I'm Parker Testa with the University of Dayton Sports Update. Dayton Volleyball is selected 24th in the preseason American Volleyball Coaches Association poll. The Flyers are coming off a 31-3 season and a trip to the NCAA Regionals.
Into the end zone, touchdown Dayton!
Dayton football kicks off their season Thursday, August 28th at Eastern Illinois. Kickoff time is 7 p.m. The Flyers posted a 6-5 record on the gridiron last season.
Back to Bennett, left corner for 3. It's good!
Dayton basketball has a few more pieces to their schedule. The Flyers will play Penn State in an exhibition game benefiting mental health and suicide prevention Sunday, October 19th at 2 o'clock. And they'll take on Georgetown in the ESPN Events Invitational. That game will be following your Thanksgiving dinner on November 27th. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. I'm Parker Testa with your University of Dayton Sports Update on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super
Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Dayton's only all-local news radio station. The power of WHIO Radio and News Center 7 means you'll know first. This is Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. Another very mild day as we're looking at a little bit more sunshine than we had yesterday, but temperatures still staying in the 70s for highs, so take advantage of that. We've got 67 degrees, 654. Interesting stats about Gen Z when it comes to the workplace. Now, first of all, just make sure everyone knows the generations. Greatest generation, those born between 1901 and 1927. The silent generation, 1928 to 1945. Baby boomers, 1946 to 64. Then Gen X, 65 to 80. Millennials are 81 to 96, Gen Z 97 to 2012. Jeremy, I'm guessing you're a Gen Xer?
Millennial.
You're a millennial. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm a boomer. Will Taylor, are you a Gen Z?
I am, yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, uh-oh.
All right. Now we get into some stuff here. 31% of Gen Zers have had a parent write their resume. Okay, that seems low, maybe even. 5%, 57% have brought a parent to their workplace. Yeah, that's not unusual. 45% have had a parent talk to their manager. 53% had a parent speak with a hiring manager on their behalf. 73% have their parents help complete work assignments. And 77% of Gen Z job seekers brought a parent to an interview.
Wow.
Now, have you ever brought Hickory to an interview?
No.
Will?
No, I have not.
Has he helped you write a resume?
No, I don't think so, actually.
Has he helped you complete any work assignments?
No, I don't think so.
Has he talked to your manager on your behalf?
No, he talked to you, though.
Well, so. Yeah, but that didn't count.
No, that didn't count.
I was interviewing him.
He...
Okay, but would it even cross your mind to do something like this?
No. I don't think so. I don't think, yeah. No, it's never been like, oh, should I bring? No, and he wouldn't be able to help me out anyways. Yeah. God love him, but
yeah.
There's a bit of a technological gap.
So, Jeremy, if you were in a situation where you were interviewing someone for a job and they brought a parent with them to that interview, would that put you off, or would you think it was a good thing?
I think it'd be entertaining. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things I've never thought of. And honestly, when I was in a managerial role, never encountered. So that would be something completely brand new. It would definitely grab my attention.
Okay. Well, generations can be very different, and what seems normal to one generation seems odd to another. Yeah. And the more that we can understand each other, the better off we'll be. Our top story today, there is a bit of a fractured situation when it comes to congressional districts and redistricting and how the two parties are looking at things. It's 6:58.
I'm Ron Otto with my Sports Rundown. My opinion on the big stories in sports. Do the Colorado Rockies have the worst pitching staff in history? Well, they're definitely the worst this year. Their team ERA is around half a run higher than any other team. But in history, that title belongs to the 1930 Philadelphia Phillies. How bad? Well, their team ERA was 6.71, nearly a run higher than these dreadful Rockies. Of the 6 pitchers on that staff that logged over 100 innings, 3 of them had ERAs over 7. The only reason the Phillies lost only 102 games was that they could hit. They had 6 guys in their lineup that could hit over 300, with Chuck Klein hitting an insane 386 with 250 hits. But this season's Rockies team can't hit. As of this writing, they've scored the 3rd fewest runs in the game. The good news, they only have to win a handful of games, like 5 or 6, to avoid the modern record for losses set by the White Sox last year. I'm Ron Otto, and that's my Sports Rundown. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. August 17th, 1998, President Bill Clinton admits to a relationship with Monica Lewinsky.
While my answers were legally accurate, I did not volunteer information. Indeed, I did have a relationship with Ms. Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was
St. Columbia reports a monster in Loch Ness. August 23rd, 1876, Darke County's Annie Oakley marries traveling show marksman Frank Butler.
The prisoner wishes to say a word.
And August 23rd, 1305, William Wallace is executed. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto.
This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning. It's 7 o'clock. I'm Larry Hansgen. Welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Thursday, August 21st, 67 degrees in Dayton. And here are the big 3 things you need to know. A little sunnier today, but below normal temperatures. Stay with us. Our highs only reaching the mid to upper 70s. A Clark County man accused of firing shots at a home while naked appears in court, wearing clothes. And our top story, after leaving the state to avoid a vote, the Democrats spoke out one after another on the Texas House floor against the new congressional map that favors Republicans.
Yeah, that's right, Larry. And Fox's Jessica Rosenthal is continuing our team coverage for us of this developing story.
Democrats, like Representative Chris Turner, blasted the proposed map that could give Republicans 5 more seats in Congress.
If we allow cheating, and that's what this is, it's cheating, elections will no longer reflect the will of the people.
But Republican Todd Hunter defended the bill against accusations of racial gerrymandering.
The underlying goal of this plan is straightforward: improve Republican political performance.
He insisted 4 of the 5 district redraws are Latino majority and that there are now more Hispanic Republicans. Latino Democratic Representative Erin Gomez countered,
"This proposed map is evidence that is a lie."
She said the map reflects a fear of an increasing Latino population.
Yeah, the map passed the Republican-controlled House in an 88 to 52 votes, setting up a new look for the upcoming 2026 midterm elections with the addition of 5 Republican-leading congressional districts in Texas. The map must make its way now through the Texas State Senate before it lands on Governor Greg Abbott's desk. Stay tuned right here as we continue to bring you updates on this story on your home for breaking news, 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
Temperatures are dropping below normal again. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz, and there's another cold front on the way to reinforce that cooler air. We'll talk about how much cooler in your extended forecast.
Traffic is slow on Dixie Drive in West Carrollton near Dryden Road after a crash. This is right near I-75. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, back to school continues for more Miami Valley students today.
In Clark County, students go back to class at Northeastern and Clark Shawnee local schools and at Catholic Central School, Indian Lake local schools in Logan County, Troy Christian schools in Miami County, and also at St. Helens Parish Catholic School in Dayton.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. Out of Clark County, the Naked Band man accused of firing at shots into his neighbors' houses made his first court appearance yesterday.
This happened in Clark County. Police say he fired shots inside 2 homes. Deputies arrested Joseph Vaughn on South Houston Pike in Harmony Township. Deputies say Vaughn came out of the house, dropped the gun, and then charged at deputies. They were able to get him into custody.
News Center 7's Letitia Perry reporting the judge told Vaughn not to have any contact with the victims. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. Out of Mercer County, leaders of a Catholic church that burned in Maria Stein last fall have an update on the rebuild there.
Father Ken Schnipke says over 200 tons of debris have been removed from St. John the Baptist Catholic Church since the fire back on May 29th. Among the remaining work, a large portion of the northwest wall will have to be dismantled and rebuilt, as well as the upper portion of the bell tower.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. Hurricane Aaron strengthening again, and forecasters tell us it could intensify again to be a major hurricane. At WHIO's Rich Jones reports for us on this developing story from Florida this morning.
The storm is creeping toward the mid-Atlantic coast, churning up menacing waves that have closed beaches from the Carolinas to New York City. Its outer bands had reached North Carolina's Outer Banks last night. Aaron is unlikely to make landfall along the East Coast before turning farther out to sea, but authorities are warning that its large swells will cut off roads on the Outer Banks and whip up life-threatening rip currents from here in Florida to New England.
At the National Hurricane Center, watching 2 more tropical waves. Back here in the Miami Valley, Kroger opening a new location in Eden.
This is almost a $20 million investment into the community. The expansion is a part of the store's bigger plan to invest $130 million across Ohio. The grand opening is scheduled for August 29th on North Barron Street. The store will open at 8 a.m. with the first 150 customers receiving a Kroger gift card.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor reporting. WHIO News Time, 7:05.
I'm Larry Hansgen, and this is Miami Valley's Morning News. Thanks again for joining us. The Dayton football season is just a week away. That's right. Flyers opening up the season on the road next Thursday at Eastern Illinois. And after starting 11 games last year, Drew Van Fleet is back at quarterback.
My 3rd season, really building this chemistry with these guys. A lot of the guys in my grade, were contributors as freshmen with me, and now we've just gotten older and older, and some new guys are starting to, be key attributes of this offense.
Now, Van Fleet's also getting competition from Springfield grad Bryce Schondelmeyer, who transferred from Youngstown State, and Tip City product Liam Peronsky. Dayton at Eastern Illinois kicking off again next Thursday, August 28th at 7, with the Bud Light pregame show with Mike Kelly and me beginning at 6:30. Still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, a former White House advisor being deposed today. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 7:06.
Nobody likes to be told what to think. That's why we're careful to make sure our news is right down the middle. Both sides and all viewpoints. Then you decide what you think about it. Dayton's News and Talk is WHIO. Depend on it. The WHIO Weekend Preview with what's happening around the Miami Valley. Here's Chris Hartley.
What's up, Miami Valley? Here's what's happening. Taco and Nacho Fest is happening on Saturday down at Austin Landing. Lots of nacho-type food, music, kids' activities, and fireworks. The fun begins Saturday at 3. It's going to run through 10. The Lebanese Festival, that's going on this weekend on Nut Road. That's in Washington Township. Traditional Lebanese food, beer, music, dance, rides for kids, and more. Friday, 5 to 9, Saturday, 11 to 9, and Saturday, 11 to 6. The Egyptian Music Festival, that's going on this weekend out in Miamisburg. This is the 26th year for the festival. Bounce houses, food, music, shopping, and more. Friday 5 to 9, Saturday 10 to 10, and Sunday 10 to 5. The Bellbrook Lions Club Summerfest, that's happening this weekend at the Bellbrook Lions Club. Carnival rides, games, food, live entertainment, and lots of fun. Friday 5 to 11 and Saturday 4 to 11. And movies top of the box office this weekend include Weapons, Freakier Friday, and Nobody 2. With your WHIO Weekend Preview, I'm Chris Hartley.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Tony Pike here, and I can't speak highly enough of the people and the products at Pella Windows and Doors of Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. Why Pella? Because like me, they're all about going beyond. Beyond strength, beyond beauty, beyond durability. It's a Pella thing. Their passion, attention to detail, and commitment to excellence are unmatched. Every window, every door, crafted with care and precision just for you. Let's go, Team Pella. Bringing inspired design and lasting quality to your home. Pella Windows and Doors. Build something great. PellaWindowsCincinnati.com.
Good morning, Dayton. You're waking up with the information you need to start the day. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. The high school football season begins tonight, actually. The big annual rivalry game in Kettering between Alter and Fairmont. Now, tomorrow night, we've got the Tecumseh at Fairborn game for you. We'll have a broadcast beginning with the Todd's tailgate party at 5. Kickoff at 7 o'clock with Parker Testa and Ron Otto. 67 degrees at 7:09.
And that is 9 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, we're following some breaking news this hour. We've just learned that a portion of a Greene County community has now been asked to conserve water after a pair of water main breaks. The village of Jamestown says they identified 2 significant water main breaks in their water system, and the breaks have caused a temporary strain on its water supply. Now, it has also caused low pressure and discolored water. The village has asked all residents to be mindful of their water usage today as repairs are being made. They say they requested residents to avoid unnecessary water usage to help conserve water. A boil advisory has not yet been issued, but the village said it is still possible. Your typical high temperature for this time of year, 84 to 85 degrees, depending on your location.
We are, once again, staying below normal for an extended period of time through the rest of this month and into the next.
That is Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz. In Warren County, a new Italian restaurant set to open its doors later this week.
Troni's Italian Bistro will welcome customers tomorrow. There will be a grand opening at its new location in Lebanon on Lower Market Street. Troni's has a restaurant on Dorothy Lane in Kettering.
That is News Center 7's Nick Foley.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
And a former top advisor to President Biden is going to sit down for a deposition.
Ian Sams was one of the leading voices in pushing back on allegations against President Biden during House Republicans' impeachment probe as a spokesperson for the White House counsel's office. Sams will now sit for a deposition as part of a different investigation from the House Oversight Committee, which is investigating allegations of a decline and cover-up of President Biden's mental acuity. Chairman James Comer referred to Sams as the first line of defense to spin negative stories about the president and his mishaps. President Biden has called the investigation political.
That is Fox's Ryan Schmelz reporting. WHIO News Time is 7:11.
I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News with a look at Dayton Radio's only 5-day extended forecast and Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
77 degrees this afternoon. Once we get past the drizzle, we'll see a glimpse of sunshine. 82 tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy. Looking at a little more sunshine on Saturday with a high of 83, and Sunday with a weak front moving through, we drop it to 79 degrees, and Monday 73. In the morning on Monday, we'll be in the 40s and 50s.
Live Doppler 7 radar clear, 67 in Springfield, 66 in Troy, and 67 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnotta.
They're going to take some extra time to get onto I-75 in the West Carrollton area. There is a reported crash at Dixie Drive and Dryden Road, so right near the interstate. A busy spot for us during the morning drive, and going to be slow in that construction area if you're on 35 West and you're close to North Fairfield Road and Beaver Creek. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Reds lost to the Angels 2-1. Guardians fell to Arizona 3-2 in 10 innings. In a Day Air Ballpark, the Dragons won their third in a row, 2-1 over Peoria. That series will continue tonight. And our top story is the potential domino effect of congressional redistricting starting in Texas and stopping, well, who knows where. Well, Brian Kilmeade shared his thoughts on that subject earlier this morning. You'll hear it in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time, 7:13.
At WHIO, people ask us all the time why we interrupt programming for breaking news, weather, and traffic. And the answer is simple. We only exist to be the live and local station that will break in whenever there's something happening that you need to know about. Some stuff is really important, so important that you need to know right away. We don't want you to wait even 5 minutes to find out something urgent. That's the most important thing we do here. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
There's a war going on right now over your and my wallet. It's when we're offered a trial offer to something, or we sign up for something. It could be a streaming service, who knows what. The problem, they make it really easy for you and me to sign up. They make it nearly impossible for you and me to cancel. It's absolutely terrible. And there was a new federal rule that was just about to go into effect that would make it as easy to cancel as it was to sign up, and it was just outlawed by a court. So it's not going to happen. So businesses we do business with can still play dirty pool with us. So what I want you to do is use your calendar as your friend and know how you cancel something. You sign up for a trial, know how to cancel it. There are also some things you can do with one-time use credit card numbers so that even when the trial offer is over, they can't charge it to you because they don't know your real number.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Going to the gym can be discouraging, especially if you're putting in the work but barely seeing changes. But with Tonal, you can actually see your progress with every workout. Tonal provides the convenience of a full gym and the expertise of a personal trainer anytime at home with one sleek system. Designed to reduce your mental load, Tonal is the ultimate strength training system, helping you focus less on workout planning and more on getting results. No more second-guessing your technique. Tonal gives you real-time coaching cues to dial in your form and help you lift safely and effectively. After a quick assessment, Tonal sets the optimal weight for every move and adjusts in 1-pound increments as you get stronger, so you're always challenged. Tonal lets you choose from a variety of expert-led workouts, from strength to aero hit to yoga and mobility, to keep you coming back for more. For a limited time, go to Tonal.com to get $500 off site-wide. That's Tonal.com for $500 off site-wide. Tonal.com.
Together with the resources of News Center 7, you're on Dayton's #1 news team. Now, back to Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
7:15, I'm Larry Hanskin, 67 degrees in Dayton. Big three things you need to know. A little sunnier today, but temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, still below normal for this time of year. More past allegations involving a former local school bus driver accused of sex crimes. And our top story, a vote in Texas today on redistricting. The vote took place in the House yesterday, passed. There will be one in the Senate today. Governor Abbott expected to sign that bill, which could potentially give the GOP 5 additional seats in the U.S. House. Now, California anticipated to respond by doing its own redistricting. And, well, it starts today. Where does it end? Something we asked Brian Kilmeade earlier this morning.
I mean, just to review, they had as few as many as 5 seats. They could go more in Texas. So Gavin Newsom, desperate to make himself the Democratic antidote to Donald Trump, is saying, okay, Trump, not Governor Abbott. He's like, all right, game on. I'm going to go redistrict in California. The problem is they're not allowed. They have voted for an independent council and still is gerrymandered to the point where there's only 8 California seats while there's 40% of the constituency is Republican. Having said that, they got to pass a referendum to put it on the ballot in November, at which time it's underwater. So they got to go sell it. But he's going to have big pushback to sell it. A couple of reasons. He's not popular. The fires that burned out everything Pacific Palisades, they can't get a permit done. Nothing's done. He's going to blame Mayor Bass. I think California is too smart for that. And Schwarzenegger's taking him on, and he's got popularity back. I mean, he left with 42% approval rating. He was a lot better governor than this guy, and he is really upset about gerrymandering. And he's not an anti-Trumper anymore. He just keeps a lower profile. So I think he's going to have a hard time passing that. And the answer is going to be, okay, I'm going to take Indiana. I'm going to go redistrict Florida, and they're going to squeeze more seats out. Look, there's a lot at stake. Trump's final 2 years, the curse of the midterms for the president's sitting party usually flips the House back. Trump can't have that. If he wants to not spend the whole time under investigation and impeachment, which is not going to land a blow on him, but will stop him from doing anything outside executive orders. So there's a lot at stake, and we'll also see some new polls. And Newsom is number one now as a Democratic nominee, while Democrats are losing constituents and Republicans are gaining across the country.
And switching gears a bit, but while this has been dominating the domestic headlines, obviously international news concerning the U.S. is the peace process in Ukraine. And I've asked a lot of folks this same question. I'll ask you, Brian, how hopeful are you for peace?
Well, look, Putin's pulling a fast one through his foreign minister. This is not a crazy former president like Medvedev. He came out and said, oh, yeah, we're not for an international peace force. And if you're going to put one in, we're going to have troops in Ukraine, and so is China. So that's a non-starter. So they're changing what they said. That's the whole thing, that Steve Witkoff has a lot of experience negotiating, but not with Vladimir Putin. And now he doesn't come out and say it to Trump. So he's got to go clarify. The Trump team went quiet. They're trying to get a trilateral together, but here's the problem. Zelensky nailed it. I don't think Putin wants peace, which means, Larry, the only answer is this. There's $350 billion frozen Russian funds. You tell them that goes to Ukraine tomorrow if you continue these antics and not sincerely going to sit down and try to work this out. And number two, we're going to put the secondary sanctions on another country. We got them on India for buying your oil. Now we're going to hit them with Turkey. Then we're going to hit them with Brazil. And the final straw will be China. So you're going to actually tax your friends for dealing with you. And that's what it's got to be. Unfortunately, Trump has got to say, he could say it publicly or privately, it doesn't matter to me, but he seems to say everything publicly. Guys, this is not working. If you're going to change your story, you might think you're getting away with it, but there's going to be a price to pay.
Again, Brian Kilmeade, more coming up on his show today from 9 until noon. Now your 5-day forecast with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
Waking up this morning with some drizzle, quite a bit of cloud cover hanging around through the day, so we struggle to warm to 80. Many of us staying in the mid to upper 70s, 77 at Dayton International. 62 tomorrow morning, 82 tomorrow afternoon. Looking a little more sunshine. Partly cloudy skies on Saturday, a high of 83, and the weak cold front moving through. It'll be a dry front, no rain associated with it, just a few more clouds with a high of 79 degrees on Sunday and 73 on Monday.
Well, our live Doppler 7 radar is clear. We've got 67 in Springfield, 67 in New Carlisle, and 67 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Is your car's AC acting up? Keep cool this summer by visiting your trusted automotive air conditioning repair experts. Breathe a little easier by making an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnotta.
Larry, a few minutes ago, had reports of a car with a flat tire on 75 north, the ramp to State Route 4. Sounds like this may be blocking a lane. I've got the camera pulled up, not seeing much of a traffic issue here. This is in Dayton, so I'll keep watching this spot, see if we run into any delays. Also, if you are in West Carrollton, we had a crash reported in the last hour. Still going to be a little slow getting toward I-75. This is Dixie Drive at Dryden Road, again, West Carrollton area. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Now, your ability to edit photos on your phone is going to get even easier, and we'll tell you about it in our in-depth impact story in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time 721.
It takes a lot of work and people to put on a live radio station. But being in the moment with us, live and local, is something you can't get anywhere else. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it. What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our number one priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around. This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
You know, this year has been the toughest year for young people graduating from high school or junior college or traditional four-year college to find a job in their chosen field we've had since 2009. It's a brutal time right now for people without a lot of work experience, but new skills that they learned in school. So what should somebody do who's in college or high school or community college right now? The most important thing is get whatever work you can while you're in school in your chosen field of study. People who graduate with some work experience and what they want to do have a much easier time finding a job once you finish your education than those who don't have that work experience.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Going to the gym can be discouraging, especially if you're putting in the work but barely seeing changes. But with Tonal, you can actually see your progress with every workout. Tonal provides the convenience of a full gym and the expertise of a personal trainer anytime at home with one sleek system. Designed to reduce your mental load, Tonal is the ultimate strength training system, helping you focus less on workout planning and more on getting results. No more second-guessing your technique. Tonal gives you real-time coaching cues to dial in your form and help you lift safely and effectively. After a quick assessment, Tonal sets the optimal weight for every move and adjusts in 1-pound increments as you get stronger, so you're always challenged. Tonal lets you choose from a variety of expert-led workouts, from strength to aero hit to yoga and mobility, to keep you coming back for more. For a limited time, go to Tonal.com to get $500 off site-wide. That's Tonal.com for $500 off site-wide. Tonal.com.
Breaking news all morning. The Storm Center 7 forecast to start your day and triple team traffic. Miami Valley's Morning News continues on WHIO.
Good morning. I'm Larry Hansgen. Again, thanks for joining us here on Miami Valley's Morning News. It's August 21st.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
It was this date in 1987. Dirty Dancing, starring Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, hit the movie theaters. 67 degrees at 7:25.
And that is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Here is a WHIO Impact story, which means we take you in-depth on a major story every hour. Get this, Google making photo editing as easy as asking for a retake because you blinked.
Photo editing used to be the work of highly specialized artists and technicians. Nowadays, photo editing apps are both more advanced and more accessible to more people, not just photography professionals. But what if you could just edit your photo by asking? Google has that now. Unveiled Wednesday at their Made by Google event, Google Photos will now have a feature in which the user can simply ask the app to perform a desired edit of their image. They can ask by voice or even by typing the request into the prompt. And yes, it is powered by Google's Gemini AI.
That is Fox's Evan Brown reporting. WHIO News Time, 726.
I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News as we are inching closer to the weekend, Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Eve. So let's see what's happening.
The WHIO Weekend Preview. with what's happening around the Miami Valley. Here's Chris Hartley.
The Great Dark County Fair is happening this week and weekend over at the Dark County Fairgrounds. Music, rides, food, tractor pull, harness racing, and lots of fun. Fair is going to run through Saturday. The Ohio Valley Orchid Fest, that's happening this weekend over at the Manuel Lutheran Church. It's out in Kettering. Lots of music, food, and orchid fun for the entire family. 9 to 5 on Saturday and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Taco Nacho Fest, that's going on Saturday down at Austin Landing. Lots of nacho-type food, music, kids, activities, and fireworks. The fun's going to begin Saturday at 3 p.m. It's going to run through 10. And the Play That Goes Wrong is going on over at La Comedia. It's going to be this weekend. The show does include a buffet dinner. Tickets on sale now at lacomedia.com. Getting you out into the Miami Valley, I'm Chris Hartley, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
I'm Parker Testo with the University of Dayton Sports Update. Dayton Volleyball is selected 24th in the preseason American Volleyball Coaches Association poll. The Flyers are coming off a 31-3 season and a trip to the NCAA Regionals.
Into the end zone, touchdown Dayton!
Dayton football kicks off their season Thursday, August 28th at Eastern Illinois. Kickoff time is 7 p.m. The Flyers posted a 6-5 record on the gridiron last season.
Back to Bennett, left corner for three, it's good!
Dayton basketball has a few more pieces to their schedule. The Flyers will play Penn State in an exhibition game benefiting mental health and suicide prevention Sunday, October 19th at 2 o'clock. And they'll take on Georgetown in the ESPN Events Invitational. That game will be following your Thanksgiving dinner on November 27th. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. I'm Parker Testo with your University of Dayton Sports Update on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning. It's 7:30. I'm Larry Hansgen, and welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Thursday, August 21st, 67 degrees in Dayton. And here are the big three things you need to know. A little sunnier today, still below normal temperatures, though, with a high only reaching the mid to upper 70s. Hurricane Aaron gaining strength as beaches close along the East Coast. And our top story, Texas House of Representatives has approved a new map that creates up to 5 new winnable congressional seats for the GOP.
And Larry, WHIO's Rich Jones continues our team coverage of this developing story.
The map passed after a push by President Trump for Republican-controlled states to redraw their legislative maps, giving his party a better chance of holding on to control of the House of Representatives in the midterm elections. The maps must be approved by Texas's Republican-controlled Senate and Governor Greg Abbott before they become official. The new maps are likely to trigger revised maps in California to create new Democratic-leaning seats later this week. Those would need to be approved by voters before becoming official.
Yeah, as we have been reporting, dozens of Texas Democrats had previously fled the state to stall the process. Now, stay tuned right here as we continue to bring you updates on what happens next and on what it means for you exactly on your home for breaking news, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Dry weather, other than a little drizzle. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz. I'll let you know when our next good chance for rain will arrive to the valley.
35 West almost completely stopped right now because of the construction area near North Fairfield in Beaver Creek. Also slow for you on Dixie Drive near Dryden Road in West Carrollton after a earlier crash. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News.
And I'm Jeremy Radliff. Well, personnel files reveal that a former local school bus driver facing dozens of sexual assault charges has a history of alleged inappropriate behavior. WHIO's Benjamin Fridkiss reports.
Prosecutors say Matthew Hunt had inappropriate contact with current and former students at Northmont High School.
Late last month, Hunt was formally charged with 17 counts of rape, 64 counts of sexual battery, and 1 count of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor.
Yeah, our news team looked through more than 100 pages of Hunt's personnel file, working as a bus driver for Vandalia Butler Schools in 2009. Now, one of the letters was to schedule a pre-disciplinary hearing for Hunt after he was accused of having inappropriate conversations with students, including some that were sexually suggestive and contained inappropriate language.
The documents also said he allegedly allowed inappropriate touching between students on his school bus. The file includes a specific warning from the school made in November 2008 telling Hunt he is not allowed to have any contact with an unnamed student. It goes on to say that Hunt continued to reach out to the student, including a letter that describes a close friendship between them. Hunt submitted his letter of resignation from the district of March 17, 2009. Fast forward more than 10 years, where in that time, Hunt worked for different school districts.
Now, he most recently worked for Northmont High School. On May the 5th, police arrested Hunt on the high school's campus on a charge of sexual battery. Now, Hunt's next court appearance is scheduled for September the 18th. A local police department warning people to lock their cars due to several recent thefts.
The Dayton Police Department said officers have responded to 22 thefts from unlocked vehicles between August 4th to the 18th. Most of the valuables that were stolen were left in plain sight. A map provided by the department shows that these thefts occur all across the city. The department said that to help prevent theft, please lock your doors and don't leave valuables in your car.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor. The naked man accused of firing shots into his neighbors' houses made his first court appearance yesterday.
Police say he fired shots inside 2 homes. Deputies arrested Joseph Vaughn on South Houston Pike in Harmony Township.
News Center 7's Letitia Perry there reporting he pleaded not guilty to the charges. Today it's back to school for even more Miami Valley students.
In Logan County, Indian Lake local kids go back to class. In Clark County, students go back at Northeastern and Clark Shawnee local schools and at Catholic Central School. Also, St. Helens Parish Catholic School in Dayton and Troy Christian Schools in Miami County.
That is WHIO's Rich Jones. Parents who are considering surrendering a baby will have a safe option in Auglaize County now.
A new Safe Haven baby box will be opening at the Wapakoneta Fire Department on Willapa Street. The organization was founded to end infant abandonment. There are 372 of the boxes across the country with 16 in Ohio.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. A blessing of the box will be held today at noon. And more federal workers are getting laid off. This in the latest round that comes from the CDC.
A union that represents CDC employees says at least 600 of them have been fired. That includes personnel who worked on violence prevention, the Office of Financial Resources, and more. The cuts are part of the Trump administration's effort to shrink the federal workforce.
That is Fox's Jill Nader reporting. WHIO News Time, 7:35.
I'm Larry Hansgen, and this is Miami Valley's Morning News. Concert season continues, even though kids are already heading back to school. And a week from today, the Happy Together Tour stops at Fray's Pavilion, featuring the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Little Anthony, Gary Puckett, the Bogues, and the Cowsills. It's next Thursday, August 28th. I've got 2 tickets for you if you're caller number 2, 937-457-1290. Good luck. And still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, parts of the Sunshine State are on fire. That story in 2 minutes at 7:36.
A lot of weird stuff happens around here overnight. That's why we feature Dayton's only all-news morning show. Catch up and know what's going on every morning. Miami Valley's Morning News is on WHIO. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
I'm Ron Otto with My Sports Rundown. My opinion on the big stories in sports. High school football is back, and we are amped up to bring you all the action again this year. We're headed to at least 11 different high school stadiums, and you may ask, wait a minute, there are only 10 weeks to the regular season. Well, for the first time, we'll have doubleheader action for you. September 19th, we'll feature Miamisburg at Beaver Creek, followed by Minster at Coldwater. Week 8, October 10th, Monroe travels to Bellbrook and Northmont hosts Centerville. And the grand finale, a Week 10 doubleheader with Stebbins traveling to Xenia and Centerville going to Huber Heights to play Wayne. We'll feature one of the oldest rivalries in the state with Piqua at Troy, September 12th. And the back end of the schedule is especially solid with Ohio Heritage Conference rivals Greenon and Greenview facing off on October 17th. And don't forget about the playoffs. I can't wait to get it going. I'm Ron Otto, and that's my Sports Rundown. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. August 17th, 1998, President Bill Clinton admits to a relationship with Monica Lewinsky.
While my answers were legally accurate, I did not volunteer information. Indeed, I did have a relationship with Ms. Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact,
prisoner wishes to say a word.
And August 23rd, 1305, William Wallace is executed. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto.
The area's only all-news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hansgen, congratulating Carol from Minster. She's won a pair of tickets for the Happy Together tour featuring the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Little Anthony, Gary Puckett, Vogues, and Cowsills. They'll all be at the Fraze Pavilion this coming Thursday, a week from today, August 28th, and Carol will be there too. That's 67 degrees at 7:38.
And that is 22 minutes here ahead of 8 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Radliff. There is a new restaurant people can now enjoy here in Montgomery County.
Nepali's Mexican street food cut the ribbon on its new location on North Dixie Drive in Harrison Township. They have been around for 8 years at the 2nd Street Market. This is